The Ember mug looks like an ordinary, mild-mannered coffee cup. No way it's hiding super app-enabled smarts, super mug, no, it can't fly or use X-ray vision. What it can do, keep your coffee warm. How super is that? Super mug, It's designed to look like a regular mug, to blend in, but its temperature control can add a lot of convenience to your morning routine. Super mug, Hi, I'm Andrew from Apt, and honestly, this is just not my cup of tea. This over here is my cup of tea. It has some tea in it. Ooh, that's hot. Both of these are Ember mugs. This one's just empty. And this one is the Ember travel mug. All three smart app control devices designed primarily around one thing: keeping your beverage of choice warmed to your temperature of choice. They're all meant to look familiar, but little touches, like you'll notice an LED on the front here. There's a button on the bottom here. I mean, this one has one too, but I don't want to spill my tea. And there's a hidden display panel on here that give up the game. Still, the point is to be unobtrusive. They're meant to be smart devices that you don't really need to think about after just a little bit of initial setup. They're just there to add a little convenience, a little nicety, a little coziness, a little warmth. They're expensive, especially compared to an ordinary coffee mug. But are they worth it? Well, let's dive into the details, as I say, now that I've got caffeine and can speak properly. All of these are technically the Ember Mug 2, or based on the company's logo for them, the Ember Mug Squared. But it's Gen 2 of the product, with increased battery life and a slightly different form in terms of how the display and the controls and such work. I'll talk through all of that in a sec. Let's start one by one, starting with the oddball. It's called the travel mug, not just the mug. 12 ounces, available in black, one shape, one size, retails for $200 with 3 hours of battery life built in. Then the ordinary mugs. You've got a couple of different varieties here, 10 ounces or 14. All 10-ounce models have 90 minutes of battery, all 14 have 80 minutes. Both have simple black and white ceramic varieties. This is an example of one of the ceramic ones. And the 10-ounce there is 130 for ceramic, 14 is 150. Then there is the new spiffy looking metallic collection. We have the 10-ounce versions here at Apt. Same specs in terms of battery and usage. Spiffier design, slight premium, 150 for the metallic version of the 10-ounce, so 20 extra, and you have options in copper, gold, rose gold, and stainless steel. All of the mugs let you set your preferred temp anywhere between 120 and 145 degrees Fahrenheit. They each default to 135, and then you can tinker to find your sweet spot or Google expert recommendations for green tea or coffee or cappuccino or whatever hotness you've concocted, and then tinker when you find the expert's recommendation just a bit off from what you actually find pleasant. With all of the mugs, you can control the temp in the app, and better yet, you can save some presets. So once you find the perfect spot for your tea, you can save it and switch freely to your favorite temp for coffee with a push of a button in the app. Have coffee, one temp, have tea, one temp, back and forth with the button. You can also control the temp on this hidden panel on the travel mug, and the Ember logo here doubles as a button. You can tap to view the temperature, tap twice to pull up the temperature controls, 3 taps to view your customized mug name, which is great if you and your significant other both have travel mugs, so then you know yours is Mugsy, dang it. 4 taps to view the battery life. Otherwise, they all have this power button on the bottom. You press and hold when you first get it to turn the mug on. You hold for 2 seconds to turn it off. You can also hold for 5 seconds to enter pairing mode, and 7 seconds to perform a full reset. And that's it for onboard controls, but not the LED on the mug. Yes, it's shiny and looks cool, and it acts as a wink wink, nudge nudge to those paying attention that yes, the mug you're holding is more awesome than theirs. But it also holds some info for you. It'll be solid white like this when the desired temperature of your beverage is reached. This is what it looks like when it's working on it. The white light will be blinking versus it'll have that same blinking pattern but red when it's charging, solid red when the battery is flat, and solid green when you're plugged in and it's done charging. Outside of sending you these flirty signals, letting you know that it is in fact hot or charged, wink wink, nudge nudge, you can customize the color of the LED in the app. Again, I'm trying to protect your coffee from your significant other or your coworkers. That way, you know that if they steal a sip, it was intentional and not some innocent mistake, as they inevitably claim, since your drink is obviously so much better than theirs. Your aromatic green tea is in a mug with a blue LED, dang it. And their boring black coffee is in the one with the purple light, and it's their fault that they picked such a boring drink. And no, I'm not really a coffee guy, but my tea tastes good. Man, it's still nice and hot. And the LED will only show up if you press the power button or when it's run empty, but you can also see it by giving the mug just a little bit of a shake. So, you know how to control the device with the onboard controls. Fantastic. Guess what? For the most part, you won't need to. Ember can sense when it gets picked up or when it has liquid in it. So, once you turn it on for the first time, you shouldn't have to bother with power or with any of the buttons. It'll go into a rest mode when it's not in use to save battery and wake up just in time thanks to sensing your caffeinated beverage in the morning, and it's not even using the caffeine to do it. That's all for you. All right, I've talked enough about power and mentioned the battery life before, and you might assume you need to charge it by plugging it in, but this is neat. Again, the company is going for unobtrusive design. So the charger is, ready for this? A coaster. Remember all those times your mom yelled at you to use a coaster? Now it serves an actual purpose. And yes, will also help keep the rings off of your furniture. But you can leave your drink on the coaster and it'll stay hot and not run down the battery. This is perfect if you can plug in your coaster by your desk or wherever it is you're most likely to have your drink the most often. And then the battery will suffice when you need to change spots to your living room, get away from your desk, because you're getting a little cramped in that office of yours, even though it's a very nice office. And last physical thing, this lid for the travel mug. It's a 360 leak-proof lid. Push to open, and then you can drink from any side. It's neat. App stuff. I mentioned temp controls and presets, and doing it all is pretty easy. You just move the little dial right here. Also, if you turn on notifications, you get an alert when it's at your temp of choice. The app will automatically remember your last set temp. So if you really only use your mug for coffee, see, it just reached my new temperature, you can set the app and forget this as well, and the temp will stay where you put it. So the smarts are useful. The design is neat. The concept is really great. But a few limitations here to keep in mind before you take the plunge. Number one, this isn't really meant as a device to heat up or reheat your fully cooled beverage. Maintain heat, yes. Add heat to cold thing, no. It can definitely move it up a couple of degrees, but if your coffee has gone completely cold in a different mug, you'll likely need an external heat source to get it hot again, and to that end, you can't put this in a microwave. While talking can'ts, limitation number 2, you can't put this in the dishwasher. It's water resistant up to 1 meter, so you can absolutely hand wash this thing without doing some extra special care because you can't get it wet. You can get it wet, you can hand wash it, you just need some sudsy water, but you can't take the hands-off approach with your dishwasher to getting it ready for the next day. So Ember is an example of one of my favorite types of smart devices. Unobtrusive. It has a very familiar design. It smartens up a dumb device while still looking like the dumb device that you're familiar with, and it adds smarts in a way that could be pretty helpful for some. But $130 to $200 is not cheap, especially when dumb versions of a mug can be had for a few bucks. Whether it's worth it to you will likely depend on how you drink your coffee or tea. If you drink it fast, you don't need this. If you drink it fast, but wish you could slow down, but you don't want it to cool down, I mean, maybe. If you forget about your coffee and reheat it frequently, then yeah, you're the target for this gadget. Again, you'll want to pour your drink straight in here so you don't need to reheat anything, and then it'll keep it hot for you for hours. The limitations can be a bummer, but they're easy enough to work around. The price is a steep ask, but if you have it to spend on niceties, the smarts offered here are still pretty unique on the market, and the device does what it says on the tin. If you're undecided, feel free to come on by app and check it out. We have them on display. You can also give us a call and ask about discounts or sales. They pop up sometimes, it's worth an ask. Or check them out online. We've got experts ready to help on your forum of choice, and links below if you're ready to make a purchase now because you just had to reheat some coffee for the 3rd time today and you're ready to make that inconvenience a thing of the past. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube to stay tuned for more tech goodness. Thanks for watching, and happy tea time. That's a golf thing. Happy coffee time. Happy drinking. Yeah, happy hot beverage time. Sure, why not? Thanks again. Cheers. Still hot.